you ready to master some of the best sales techniques that will help you close your deals faster? Now, whether you're a seasoned sales professional or just starting out, having the right sales strategies can make all the difference. G'day, I am Trav, the head of growth here at Neighborhood. First, before we get kicked off, it's really important to humanize and personalize your sales experience. Take a think about it. When was the last time that you went and bought someone and spoke to somebody that didn't personalize and humanize that sales experience? It was boring, it was unengaging, and you were very, very excited to get off that call. This is why we always go back to personalizing and humanizing the sales experience. What you want to try and do is understand in a very, very deep sense what they're looking for and how you can help them out. Now, if you are using marketing automation like HubSpot or anything like that, it does give you the ability to go through and contextually change those communications in that automation space as it goes through. But the one thing I want you to take away from this as well is that you do not want to be that salesperson that is boring and robotic. Bring some personality into it and humanize that experience. You'll convert a lot quicker and you'll have a lot better time conversing with the prospects and potentially even getting a cross sale or an upgrade in future state. The next thing I'd like to move on to is AI in the sales process. Just remember, AI is your friend and not your replacement. Now, as everyone knows, AI has exploded across every single platform. Every single SaaS platform that you use is now using AI or has some sort of AI capability to it. Most people look at this and say, look, I don't want to use this because I know how to do sales properly myself. But I challenge you to check out the tools that you're using. Most importantly, we use HubSpot here at Neighborhood to go through and use from our marketing and sales process as well as our CRM. And they've brought out an abundance of different AI tools across the last couple of months to go ahead and assist those that are going and using their platform. For example, there are a few different tools that we can use from an AI sense. There's an AI tool to use from emails. So whether you're in Gmail or 365, you're able to use AI to help you flesh that out. But also there's other AI tools within the platform as well to assist you to get you to where you need to go. For example, AI forecasting, to name a few. So when using AI, think about the use case and thinking about the first topic that I brought to you about humanizing and personalizing that experience. Now, in some cases, in some platforms, they do a really great job of using AI in that. But also keep your eyes out and your ears to the ground about other platforms that you could be using to help supplement that sales experience. So just remember, AI is your friend and not a replacement. And you know what? Be innovative and look for those innovative solutions to help you in that sales process and ultimately drive more value for the prospect that's coming to you. The next point I want to talk about is RevOps and using it to your advantage. Now, some people might say, what is RevOps? And we don't have enough time in this video to step through it. I'm going to have a link up here or here. Other videos that we have that actually step through the difference between RevOps and inbound and what the differences are and how you can bring that into your organization. Essentially, RevOps is a process or a methodology that a company uses to holistically look at the customer experience. In some instances, when we're looking at inbound, we're really talking about that front end and delivering them as much value as possible. If we're looking into the RevOps side of things, we are stepping back and looking at the full customer experience. We're looking at the first touch, the second touch. We're looking at leads when they convert from a prospect. We're also looking at when a prospect becomes a customer and what they see. What we want to try and do is use software to assist us in this. We can build out a really great customer experience that's contextual, personalized, and humanized. But the big thing is the data, and data is where it comes down to where this works really, really well. If we have a very clear system and process that is in line with our sales and marketing and also our operations of our organization, we can get insight into what's working and what's not working. For example, how could this work for a sales organization or a sales team within an organization? So let's look into it. So we've got a lead coming through the front door, engaging with the marketing systems that they've got and handing it over to the sales team. You run your process of your sales and hand that over to sales, whether it's won or if it's lost, it's closed. And then we're still capturing that information. For a sales organization, it's important to understand that, hey, what brought the deal to me? What actually convinced that person to convert from a lead to a prospect and then to start engaging with that sales process? Also, post-sale, when it actually gets handed into the operations of the organization, is that did that customer last long? And these are examples that I could use. How long did the customer stay around? Did the customer churn, or did the customer leave very short within the engagement? Or did they do a very good job to a point where they went ahead and left a review? This will all give you insight and data to understand how to sell better within the organization. If the customer left early, why did they leave early? Then that way you're able to digest this and bring this into your sales process so that you're able to give better value. If they stayed on for a longer period of time and did more cross-selling and upselling and became your biggest advocate, what specific difference between that prospect and the prospect that left early made that difference? And you can make an educated guess to go through and sit there and gradually over time improve how you do your sales process based on not only the data you have in front of you from a sales perspective, but also from a marketing and also an operations side too. The next part that I'd like to dive into is social selling. So what is social selling? Well, social selling is basically using those social channels to go ahead and advocate what you do and place yourself as a thought leader. Now, this kind of dives a little bit into inbound marketing a little bit, but more so for the sales perspective. We're seeing more and more salespeople actually become thought leaders, specifically in my LinkedIn account anyway, to go through and not necessarily sell, but drive value and insight into what their organization can drive value or sell to their prospects. So consider this when going through the sales process: is what are the common questions that you're answering to that prospect? Can you take these answers that you're giving and put them on a social platform? Can you record yourself on a video and discuss some of these questions to drive that trust with you and the organization? But more so, sit there and actually help people in your social channel actually get insight into what you do. Now, a good rule of thumb, and I learned this very early in my sales career, is that you can't close everybody at once. And most people might need a little bit of warming up to actually have that conversation with you. So don't try and treat as a one-time thing. Sit there and actually start building up your audience, start building up the rapport that you're creating with those people, and start becoming that thought leader. You know what you know because you've gone ahead and you've sold a million times. And if you're new to it, you know the tools that you've got and you know what you're selling, so you can start discussing these topics on your social channel. I tell you what, these people, when they actually drop through and have a discussion with you, the selling part has already been done. They just discuss the solution with you. So think about social selling within that sales organization of yours. The last point I want to talk about is engagement. We use HubSpot for our CRM, so we're able to see when someone visits the website, when someone's clicking an email, when someone's viewing an email, and when people are going through to certain pages and interacting with our documents, etc. Engagement is the big part of this, and sitting down and just waiting for them to get back to you is probably not necessarily best practice in my eyes. So when you're thinking about engagement as well, start thinking about, okay, I'm engaging with these people. Are they engaging with my documents? Are they engaging with my emails or back to our website? And then think about where they are in that sales process and how I can deliver value. Most people aren't making a decision because they're not quite sure. It could be monetary, yes, but also they're probably not as educated as you think they are in that decision process. So if they're coming to your website and they're spending a lot of time on certain blog pages or certain pages that you might have on there, think about what did that happen in that sales process and what are they looking at and how can you drive that value. Don't sell, help and educate, because that's the biggest difference between getting a deal across the line as soon as you can, but also driving that value. What goes around comes around. So when you're looking at engagement, think about it from their point of view, follow up. Make sure you sit there, but don't try and sell and close. Try and drive that value so they can make an educated decision on the solution that you're providing them. So that's it from me. You've now learned 5 effective sales strategies to help close deals faster. Now, if you want to hear more from Neighborhood, you can like and subscribe, and we can keep you up to date on all that's happening in regards to marketing, sales, and CRM. If you've got any comments or questions, make sure you put them in the comments below. We're fairly active in this channel, so we'd love to help you guys out. Well, that's it from me. Happy selling.